Welcome to this chess channel. I hope you enjoy this session today. I come all the way from cold Christchurch, New Zealand. No, I don't. And you can actually see the steam maybe coming off my mouth because it's pretty cold. It's been a frost here in Dunedin. And I quite enjoy Dunedin, even though it is a bit cold. That's why I'm wearing my Holland colours. Because I'm at my mum's here in Dunedin. I want to say to you the etiquette for junior chess players at the Otago Chess Club, because I am at the Otago province of New Zealand. So I wish to just show you or tell you their etiquette rules. Some of them are quite good, and some of them are quite like, it's good for anyone. It's good for anyone who is starting off at chess, or even someone like me that I'm still able to perform this way with my opponent, maybe. So here is their etiquette. 1, be quiet. 2, be friendly. I might get these doubled up or something like that. It says white and other players shake hands. Accept a challenge. Have fun, which is what I say most of the time. No kicking, no punching, and I'm going to add one, no spitting or no kicking under the table, because that's one of them. I've said that already, I think. Touch move. Wow, that's a good one. For juniors, for 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds. No cheating, ever. It says, I thought it said, be greedy with, don't be greedy with food. Wow. No laughing at others. Such a, oh, look at that. Oh, look at how that player's playing. It's very easy to do. Don't distract others from chess. Don't act silly or push others around. So pretty good, really. I'm just going to try to read that one with my poor eyesight. So it says, don't forget you're here to get better at chess. Wow, that's a really good one. So touch move, have fun, try hard, no kicking, no punching, no spitting. That's my one. Then it has for middle game, combination, development, fork, mobile, mobility. This is also for endgame and opening. So I'm just going to read them out. Sacrifice, outpost, combination, fork, pin, all those words we learnt when we were a young player. Pin, skewer, promotion. Wow, pawn promotion to a queen or a rook or a knight or a bishop. Development, mobile or mobility, ways to defend. Opening and passed pawn, pawn structure, values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves to checkmate, which are quite good. Some of them I couldn't work out. And the rest, I don't know where it's gone. It's gone into like that. So, as my sister says. So, there you go. And so now I'm going to show you this game that I played, which this tournament is still underway at lichess.org. And I love playing classical chess. The tournament started at 5 a.m. New Zealand time for this Classical Monthly Arena tournament there. So I started at 20 past 6. I've played 5 games, and this is the 5th game, and I'm not trying to bleat or gloat or something like that. Far from it, but I got 5 out of 5. So the reason why I only played 5 games is, and you probably can see the coldness here in Dunedin, in this front room that I'm in, the lounge, on my laptop. The reason why I stopped playing then was fear. I was too scared to play anymore. Here is my opponent from the Philippines, very, very strong player, but it doesn't matter. Stockfish 10 still found our moves, or my moves. One of them was a blunder, Queen A6. So here's this game that I played just shortly before I finished, and as you can ascertain or appreciate, this tournament is still going, but it's antisocial for me to play chess on the internet on my phone here when I'm with my mother. So hope you enjoy this game, and of course I am black. And of course there's no surprises here. I play the French. And some reason the sound sounds like that sort of thing. I don't know. I can't really say it properly. I've had this position before. I think you'll believe me. B6, A5, and one of my great friends in chess said to me, "You move a lot of pawns in the opening." Yeah, do I? King H2. So here's Bishop A6. And here I play C4, here I play C4, but I did actually think after the game, even though this is berserk rate for my opponent. Yeah, my opponent went berserk rate, and so did I think, yes. I went berserk rate as well. So that means we had 10 minutes each for the game each. No increments. So here, after, when I was looking at this game, I thought I'd probably think A4 here is better for me than what I did. Just, how do I do that now? There, A4. So this is the move that is suggested by Stockfish 10 as well. But I played C4. B5. And here comes the brittle move A4. And this asks the question of these queenside pawns of mine. So I play maybe a mistake again, B4. CB4. C3. B5. CD2. Threatening queen. Here's Bishop D2. Rook B6. Rook C6. Rook C1. Rook C1. So we're swapping a pair of rooks off. Queen C1, and I play Queen B6 with the threat of maybe Queen B3, but White can still grab my A5 pawn. Rook B1, and so it looks alright for black. It's not terrible. I've got the better bishop than White's bishop. But like usual, I probably drop the ball. G4, I was actually thinking after this game that maybe taking here on G4 is better. HG4 and then Knight H6. But I think it's not very, I don't think it's very good. I've played Knight H6 so that if Gf5, then knight f5, and my knight is stationed nicely on f5. It's good status quo piece on f5. So as g5 comes about, and h4, and I have been here before, g6, and we've got king g2. Here comes my blunder. This is a blunder according to Stockfish. Queen a6. This threatens, of course, maybe queen e2 check. Now my opponent played king f2. Fair enough. Rook c8. Maybe Stockfish wants white to play rook c1 here, gaining control of the only open file, the c file. And then after queen e2 check, then just king g3, and white looks quite comfortable, especially even though the pawns are on the dark squares for white, especially with the concrete pawn formation of h4, g5, f4, e5, d4. So d4, e5, f4, g5, h4 looks quite concrete pawns for white. But white played here king f2. So I'm not sure what Stockfish 10 thought of this better move for white. Here's rook c8, queen d1, and I played queen d3, bishop d2 takes on a5. Thankfully it's not check with bishop takes pawn check, as I would lose my queen on d3. Here's rook c2 check, and of course king g3, queen e4. Rook c1, offer a swap of another pair of rooks, rook e2. Rook c8, king g7. Now it's possibly a wee bit difficult for white, but I might be exaggerating that. I think that after bishop e1, rook e3, bishop f2, rook d3, queen h1, only move. Now I have rook b3. So I gain my pawn back, but here I think is a mistake for white. I don't think white has time for this, but it does threaten h6 checkmating me, or yeah, checkmating me. I can see it's checkmate after h6 check is h5, and so I have to react rather quickly here. So I give my king a square on g8 by playing bishop f8. Okay, so here's hg6. White has a choice here of h6 check or hg6, and white went with hg6. So here is a situation for white where they can choose two different sort of roads here. White went hg6, hg6. Rook c7. Okay, now this is not really threatening anything. Rook f7. It is. Oh, David. It's threatening what? What is it threatening? I mean, I just missed it, but it's threatening something here. Is it's threatening, of course, queen h6 check, and thereafter the next move will be queen g6 check, as the knight cannot capture the queen on h6, of course, as it's check with the rook on c7. So I played here a preventative move, and I'm sure you can find it. So I played king g8, And here my opponent played a5, rook a3, rook a7. So it's your move now. How do I finish off this player who is actually 2,300 and something for other formats from the Philippines, this player. So here comes the move. I hope you saw it. My move was this. The computer did not tell me off for this move. It's knight g5. Now, of course, only the pawn can capture, and now white is threatened with their knight on f3 being attacked 3 times with the queen, knight, and rook. And the knight is pinned, of course, to the king on g3. So white played really the only move here is not queen h7 check, because it's not checkmate, even though I looked. Because queen h7 is no good. Okay, check. Because of course I just take the knight. Takes the queen, and I am steady boat there on for win of the game. So anyway, we have knight g5, so white now played fg5, and here we have the move, I'm sure you see it, is queen g4 check, king h2, rook h3, which threatens checkmate in one move with this move. Rook h3 is checkmate. So black defends, no, white defends with queen g2. Now play queen h5 check, so that if queen h3 now, no good anyway, because of queen takes h3 or rook h3, etc. Check. But here white plays king g1. Okay. Now play, I swing the rook back to a3, which is getting behind the pawn as well. And here I threaten moves like rook a1 check. So my opponent plays queen f1. And I play queen g5 check. This is getting quite nasty. Queen g2 and rook a1. There's a wee tactic here that I'm sure you will be able to see. Rook a1 check. King h2 only move really. Don't want to look at bishop e1. Queen h5. So if queen h3, what's white's dilemma with queen h3 move? Queen h3 move, if queen h3, oops, upset, it's because I'm on my, queen h3 is met with the wee rook sacrifice, rook h1 check, and thereby that forces king takes rook, or else it's queen takes queen, checkmate of king g2, king h1, and then just oopsie. So we've got this move. I've just done that a bit wrong. That was okay. It didn't mess up the position too much. So that will win the queen for rook from white. King g3. Here we have rook a3 check. This is damaging to white's game. White has lost completely. King f4, and everyone can see the final move, which destroys any resistance from white's forces. Okay, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. All the best with your chess, no matter where it's at, and I'm going to have to get back into the heat. Okay, bye for now.